players in the competition. And speaking of great players, Kiara Bowers is showing no signs of slowing down. She's ranked #1 in the competition for tackles, and I think her experience, particularly in these wet conditions, is going to be really important today.
Yeah, her body work, her ground ball work, super important. I think also, given the equation we've spoken about, what this game means, this game is a final before the finals. It's the experience of Bowers that's going to be critical.
The third member of our commentary team today, braving the elements on the boundary, is Monique van der Hayden. Mon, what are the conditions like for us today?
Well, Jess, that cliche that Adelaide's always a little bit behind the East Coast has come true today. We saw 2 games have delays last week due to lightning and those thunderstorm conditions, and we've seen those conditions hit South Australia today. Now, thankfully for myself and for the crew here on the boundary, we have seen some of that rain slow down in the last hour or so, but there's certainly a pretty thick layer of moisture currently on the surface, so we might see some slips early on. But you guys, you already touched on what's at stake here for both these sides. Whoever wins gets to play on next week. But the Crows, they're also playing to keep Doc Clark's season alive as head coach. He'll be stepping down from the top job at season's end, and after leading this side to 7 final series over his 8 years, plus 2 premierships in that time as well, I don't think they'd like to see his season end today.
Absolutely not. Certainly not on their home turf at Norwood Oval. Thanks, Mon. So much to look forward to today as Adelaide and Fremantle battle it out for the final place in the top 8. It's been a crazy round already, Shia. We're going to see a 1 or 2 more twists and turns this afternoon.
Oh, look, I love finals footage, Jess, and I feel really blessed. I felt like for the last 2 weeks we've had finals come early, so it's going to be an arm wrestle of a match. But the conditions, you know, we spoke about the conditions, Jess. Fremantle have got some good numbers this season already in really wet conditions, so let's see if they bring that game today.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to play a role. Head-to-head between these 2 inaugural teams, they've met 9 times since 2017. The Crows have a dominant 8-1 win-loss record against Fremantle, including the last time that they played, 2024 semi-final. The Crows beat the Dockers by 37 points. But here we go. It's the final match of the final round. Win and you're in. And we're underway at Norwood Oval. A great crowd building here at Norwood Oval, and the Dockers surge forward first through Strom. It's off hands, live ball in the pocket. Allen, the ever-reliable, experienced defender. The Crows exit through Goodwin to a 1-on-1. It's close to the line, and that's a matchup to watch. O'Driscoll on Ponta. Have a few juicy matchups out there this afternoon.
Yeah, lots of 1-on-1s around the ground at the moment, Jess. It's going to be really messy, of course, the conditions on grounds, but just both teams not wanting to give the other an inch. So we'll see lots and lots of arm wrestles around the ground. Lots of fun.
Strom and Jess Allen and Ruck. So a couple of pairs of sisters out there today. Kaufman delivers it onto the chest of Hayley Miller. She sends it into the pocket. It's knocked away from Brisbane. Up against Sarah Allen. Banfield close to the line. Again, the Crows can repel. Mueller out, looking for Prowse. But it's coming back, the Dockers. And the pressure early.
Really steady here by the Dockers. Real intention with their method, not kicking and hope. They're not worried too much about the pressure. You can see them trying to make the game be played on their terms.
No changes, as we mentioned, to their side. They beat Richmond last week, so they've won the last 3 against Melbourne by 5 points in that thrilling contest at home. Giants in the wet, as you mentioned, shy by 7 points, and Richmond last week by 44. It's been a stunning turnaround considering they were 1-3 to start the year, including back-to-back losses against Brisbane and North by a combined 170 points. So it's been a great fight back for them to be in contention. And they've got one big challenge ahead of them this afternoon against the 3-time AFLW Premier. Goodwin with an aggressive kick into the middle of the ground. Here's Danielle Ponta, who swoops and bombs it long for the Crows. It's a 1-on-1. Brazel against Prowse. Brazel gets there first. Sockers it off the turf and goes in again. And she's stripped to the footy by Ponta. The umpire calls play on, is picked up by Prowse. Jones back to Prowse. She's tackled by O'Driscoll, who earns herself a free.
Really good defensive work there by Fremantle. And that one-on-one, Brazil was just waiting for the +1 to get there. Really lucky not to give away the free kick there. Great pressure from Ponta. Fremantle, great work in defence.
Good win in position A, and takes the mark. Get a repeat inside forward 50 entry here, the Crows. Kicks it to a contest. Well done, Caitlin Gould.
Of course, Caitlin Gould was out of the team for a number of rounds with that wrist injury. She's so important, having that target up forward. Of course, even more important today with the absence of Chelsea Randall, of course. Chelsea can play forward of the footy, behind the footy, on the footy, around the footy. But Gould is so important for their goal-kicking prowess.
She missed 5 weeks with that wrist injury, as you mentioned. Returned last week in the showdown to kick a goal to get us underway at Norwood Oval. The Crows draw first blood.
Well, as expected, a little bit of an arm wrestle to get the game started. Both teams just trying to work each other out, both trying to get the game played on their own terms. But it was a really great piece of work that brought the footy inside, originally by Danielle Ponta, just reading the game really nicely. And then just the pressure work by the forwards to be able to keep the ball trapped in their forward half. And Caitlin Gould just presented so well, used her body beautifully, kicked it right on her head, and she was able to finish so true.
Maintains her average of a goal a game. Caitlin Gould had a return from a wrist injury last week, as we mentioned.
They look such a better team, don't they, Jess, with Caitlin Gould up forward.
She's such a great contested marker. She showed us just then. Hatchard, game number 100. Chris Sullivan. Custerman gets out the back. McCarthy. Career best 32 disposals last week. Sends it to a contest. It's knocked away from Brisbane. And then followed up with a smother on the Marinoff kick. Contest on the wing. Marinoff and Newton collide. And then she's in a wrestle with Kiara Bowers. Expect to see plenty of that as there's a free kick here going Fremantle's way. And we get down to the boundary to Mon.
Thanks, Jess. You guys spoke pre-game about the attacking threat that Kiara Bowers is, but she's been playing a bit of a tagging role in recent weeks, and she's currently stuck to Ebony Marinoff like glue. And I do love a stat. Every game this season, the Marinoff has been kept under 30 disposals. Adelaide has lost, with the exception of last week's showdown. So it's going to be a fascinating matchup to watch today.
Certainly is. Who's going to win the tackle count out of those two?
I don't know, but Mon just won the stat for the round. That was great. Thanks, Mon.
We did. At lunchtime, actually, the combined tackle count between Marinoff and Bowers throughout their careers. Obviously, number 1 and number 2 in the competition overall in that stat. As the Crows run the outer wing. It's picked off, though. Link up by hand. Although McCarthy is going to get caught holding the ball.
Great pressure at the moment. Ball really bobbing between the arcs.
He's Tonnen getting a handball away. Hoops the kick inside forward 15, and it's Redbass by Allen in defence. And switches play to Bedell. As the Crows look to use the broadcast wing. Finds Amy Boyle-Carr, one of the inclusions today. 4 changes shy to the Crows lineup. So Boyle-Carr, Cronin, Allen and Thompson into the side. Martin Tarlington-Smith omitted, and Neve Kelly the big omission through concussion. O'Driscoll spears it to half forward. Miller out to meet it. Off to the run of McCarthy. From 50, no one home for the Dockers. It's going to bounce and roll out of play.
You can see there straight away, Jess, Fremantle really keen to get speed on the ball, get the ball ahead of the traffic when they win possession. They like to play really fast when they can. Certainly you don't want to get the ball trapped in the congestion around the likes of Marinoff, Hatchard, Ponta.
Allen and Brisbane and ruck. That's Jess Allen. Spills to Hatchard, knocked out of her hands. McCarthy, a flying shot towards goal, is missing near side. How big of a loss is Neve Kelly to this Crows outfit?
It's just the run to be able to go with the runners of Fremantle. I think they've put a lot of work into their running game, Fremantle, and you know, they've got great legs all the way through the game. So losing that run is going to be critical for them.
Opens up the door for another Irish product in Kaylee Cronin to play her 4th game. Hasn't played since round 3. Let's get a look at the live ladder. So we're going to have many looks at this throughout the afternoon. So just given St Kilda's big loss, it means Adelaide, if they win, they can potentially move up to 6th. West Coast hang on by a percentage. Plenty more to play though throughout the afternoon. Seth wobbles it forward, it's intercepted. Bowers crashes through, she was taken high.
You asked a question before, Jess, about Marinoff and Bowers. How many tackles the two of them coming into this game? 1,738 tackles across the first 10 seasons. That's incredible. Between the two of them. Marinoff has got 4 tackles to go to crack 1,000 in her career.
It's Chelsea Randall in the stands. Unfortunately, was withdrawn from the squad today, still battling some ongoing concussion symptoms, so we wish her the best in her recovery. Here's Newman. A little fumble. Newman goes in again. Now Goodwin. Long bomb to the wing. Stays alive for good, a long way from home. Gets a handball out. Where McCarthy feeding it inboard to Strom. Actually weave her way through traffic like that for a ruck and then hits Miller lace out. And is it going to be 50? It is. So here's a golden opportunity for Fremantle to get their opening goal of the game.
We spoke before, Jess, about the pace. You can see Fremantle wanting to move the ball on really quickly. As soon as Mimstrom got the ball, she was ready to go. Love the fact she was able to lower her eyes and look for a lead-up target. Clearly have done some work on their forward 50 entries. Mimstrom just so clean for a tall player to be able to run that way.
Hayley Miller has been there since day one. She sends it through and the Dockers are on the board.
Terrific response there by Fremantle after Adelaide getting the opening goal. Love the way in which they were able to just continue with their own method, not be overawed by the situation, what's at stake today. They know they're going to have to just keep going pound to pound with the Crows throughout the whole game, and just love the way they counterpunch there, and beautiful lead up, the lovely work there by Strom to be able to get through the traffic and bring the footy inside.
And this is how quickly it can flip. So Fremantle in front by a point on the live ladder. They're currently in the 8.
So you can see there the percentage difference there, Jess. Fremantle wanting to leapfrog St Kilda. They've got to get the win first, and they've got to get some good scoreboard separation from Adelaide today to be able to make up that 4.9% difference.
And 6th position is important because it means you host a home final.
Well, if you're Fremantle, you're not wanting to travel to Melbourne, are you? Your first week of finals in a knockout final.
A goal apiece in this opening quarter at Norwood Oval. We're going to have a ball up in the middle.
And of course, for those playing along at home, if these two teams draw, then they're both in and West Coast are out.
What a roller coaster of emotions it would be for West Coast, of course, losing to Adelaide on Friday night. A few players quite emotional after that, but then the upset win by Essendon over Sydney has kept them alive, but then there's still one more scenario to be played out today. We're not going to know until the final siren. Here go the Crows. Newman sends it into the pocket, Gould down low, and she's got herself a free kick.
There you go, that's the danger she poses. She doesn't even need to get the ball, and she just draws pressure, creates mistakes in the opposition minds.
A central figure to this Adelaide Crows forward line. Premiership player, All-Australian and leading goal kicker, sends it on its way. It's marked strongly on the last line of defence by Strom. What a player she is, Mim Strom.
Yeah, just her ability to read the play and her aerobic capacity. I think it's the great thing about the rucks. I know I've said it all season, the aerobic capacity of our rucks in this competition.
That kick is chopped off. Kick towards the teeth of goal, and it's going to bounce through. She'd almost made them pay. And so I think we're going to get a shot of the live ladder if it's a draw, as it currently is. It means they're both in. It's pretty crazy stuff to end the regular season. There's the live ladder on screen. O'Sullivan keeps it alive in front of the interchange gates. Nice delivery to find Stan at the skipper. Players streaming forward inside the arc. Kaufman back with a flight. Brings it to ground. Here's a chance for Banfield. She's tackled to the turf. Sarah Allen is there. In a 1-2 with Marinoff. That kick is dropped by Tonnen. It goes out of play.
So Adelaide have had a number of injury issues this year. We spoke about Chelsea Randall. Caitlin Gould's been out, came back in last week, but they've used 29 players of their list this year at the Adelaide Crows. They've been a team that's been so consistent throughout the 10 years in this competition, but this year they've had to use so many of their players. Of course, 4 changes today.
As Custerman emerges with the footy off to Tonnen. Great smother off the boot. McCarthy soccers it forward. Goes inboard to Banfield. Tight angle from the pocket, and she slams it into the post.
Get the feeling, Jess, that both teams are not going to lock down on the defensive game. They're both really attacking this. If you win, you're in. I think they're both playing to that adage.
O'Driscoll pounces on the loose ball on the wing. Hits the target at half forward. Missed the target inside forward 50 from East. And Allen is there to pick it off. Aggressive kick into the middle. She's turned it over. Hayley Miller.
Having all sorts of trouble, the Crows, trying to bring the footy outside of their 50, just getting it across the centre circles, just can't do it at the moment.
12 inside 50s to 3 the way the Dockers so far in this first quarter. Kick didn't quite hit East. Here's Brazel. Indy Strong, great smother off the boot. Thompson, one of the inclusions today, off to Charlton. Wobbly kick down the line to a one-on-one. O'Driscoll against Ponta. Coming through, Grace Kelly. And we're looking for Ponta. She's under pressure, wrapped up by Brazel. And we've got a ball up.
So inside 50s, as you said, Jess, 13 to 3 now.
East gives it to Veria. Marinoff chops it up. Thompson. East head over the footy. It spits out to Kaufman. Strong with the fend off. Jams it on the boot. Ball in dispute on the wing. Miller clean to Kaufman. Delivers up to half forward. It's going to bounce in front of Kikuak. Keeps it alive along the boundary line. Bedell chasing after it. Coming through O'Sullivan. She may have given away some high contact, and she did.
It's good work there by Bedell. You never want to get the high contact, but you've got to be able to stem the flow there. They're in all sorts of trouble, was able to extract the free kick.
Good arm wrestle unfolding so far. Hatchard in game 100. And work it to Rashid.
This is the point at which Adelaide have come unstuck.
Bombs it to a big pack down the line. Well read by Gabby Newton.
She's set up so well behind the footy, Jess. Great structure by Fremantle, very disciplined.
Hasn't her form been impressive in the last few weeks? 28 disposals against Richmond, again against GWS, 31 against Melbourne. And some fine form, and that strong set of hands from Kikuak. We speak a lot about the experience between these two inaugural sides out there today, but some of the young talent on show is really exciting as well.
Yeah, you get the feeling Fremantle are really coming, of course. Adelaide have just been up there for such a long period of time. You rattle off their accolades as a club in this competition, but Fremantle have been on a rebuild journey, you'd think, sort of post-COVID. Change coaches, Lisa Webb's come in.
And you speak about that COVID season, it was their best finish to a season. They were widely tipped to win it that year until COVID ruined their plans. They were undefeated. Made finals last year after a couple of seasons outside the 8. Will they make it back-to-back appearances today? Or will Adelaide continue their dominant run?
Fremantle +4 on the tackle count, +13 on inside 50s.
Dockers by a point as we enter the final minute of the first quarter. Merging with it is Boyle Carr. Hatchard fires out a handball. Kikowak loses the footy. Newton. Kikowak goes in again. Trying to break free. Plenty of numbers around this footy. Okay, lets them play a little bit. Mueller is wrapped up again. Umpire lets them play. Marinoff squeezes the kick out of congestion. And as far as Ferrier, who soccers it forward. Who's out to meet it? Miller hands to it. A couple of bites at it. Was she tackle without it? Umpire calls play on. Charlton, was she also tackle without it? I think she was. The umpire spotted that one. May have been the Dockers' last opportunity in this opening quarter as the seconds tick down. Marinoff kicks across the face of goal. Jones, a little fumble, but she should be saved by the siren. A tight opening quarter at Norwood Oval to decide the final place in the AFLW's top 8 at quarter time. Fremantle with their noses in front, 1-8, plays the Crows 1-1-7. Plenty more to come after the break.
All right, there we go, folks. It is quarter time here at Norwood Oval, over there in Adelaide. And I tell you what, we've got a ring-a-ding-ding game here today. It's the Dockers leading 1-8. Adelaide Crows 1-7 at the meantime. Fremantle Dockers, they're in the top 8. Can you believe it, folks? I tell you what, we've got 3 situations happening in this game today because it's all about finals next week. Of course, there's been the final game. Round 12 final game of the home and away season. This is it. Playing for spots in the finals next week, folks. So whoever wins this game will make the finals. Whoever loses this game will be out. That's right, will be out. Now we've got another scenario. Addy G, can you believe it? If it's a draw, both teams make the finals and West Coast Eagles will be out. There's the live ladder as it stands at the moment. There we go. Fremantle jump up into 7th spot. Wowee. Can you believe it? Adelaide Crows, they're gonna miss out. That's the difference, folks. That is the difference. Freo wins, they're in. Adelaide win, they're in. If it's a draw, both teams are in. West Coast go out. I tell you what, it's crazy. But there we go. Talk about getting close. I tell you what, I'm not sure why it is. Eddie G. But Freo always seem to be playing the last game of the home and away season, whether it's the women's footy or the men's footy, and always chasing that spot for the finals. What's going on? I tell you what, they make it exciting football anyway. Both teams are playing pretty good footy here, though, I must say. Both teams are playing pretty good, and they both look good. Just a goal apiece. Hayley Miller, 1 goal. Is that for the Dockers there? Hayley Miller, I think it is, and Caitlin Gould for the Crows. She's got the goal. Possession getters, Ebony Marinoff, Sarah Goodwin there for the Crows. Both on 8, top on the table there. Mim Strom. There's the name, Mim Strom. Centre all. On 7, best for the Dockers there. Newman and Madison Newman. I wonder if that's Sammy Newman's granddaughter or something like that. May never know. There we go. She's up to 7 also. There we go. The stats have been updated, and of course Sarah Goodwin now tops the table with 8. Centre all looking good. Tell you what, both teams look pretty good out there. Both teams definitely worthy of a spot in the finals. Tell you what, the prior game was a real upset. I'll just run through these, and then if anyone wants to pause it, they can just pause it and look on their player. Just a quick look at the team stats. I would say be pretty even. Except for one thing. Disposals, Adelaide Crows, they're +2 at the moment, the 68 to 70. Just have a look at this inside 50. That is just incredible. Incredible after the opening term. Adelaide Crows only been inside forward 50 3 times. 3 times they've been inside forward 50, going at 66%. As you can see, their efficiency going inside forward 50, 100% for Adelaide, and they've only been in 3 times. There we go, 17%. Freo inside forward 50, 17 times. Tell you what though, they're getting it down there, and that's important. Gives them more opportunities down there. There we go. Free kicks, it's just 4-3 in the opening term. Probably just a couple of ticky-touch ones. I know Freo got a 50 and slotted the goal, so that was right. Centre clearances, Docker's doing well there. 2 zips so far. Stoppage clearances all tied up. Contested pretty even, 33-32. There we go. Uncontested Adelaide just with the ball. I just want to drop down and have a look at this tackle count. Marks inside 50, 17 inside 50 for the Dockers. They've only found their targets twice, so they've certainly got to have a little bit more composure going inside 50. They're certainly getting plenty of opportunity. They just need to compose themselves. Tackles, both teams tackling really well. 23-24, that's fantastic for the girls out there, and the Dockers tackling well. Look, both defences are holding up pretty well in that opening term. There we go, 5-1 tackles inside forward 50. All right, let me put it back there. So that's what the ladder looks like at quarter time. Freo in the top 8. They're 7th at the moment, and Adelaide have dropped out to 9. Will it change around during the quarter? Quite possibly. Let's go down to the ground and find out, where we head back down to the action for the second quarter, where it's Freo by 1 point.
Freo managed to lock it down in their forward half towards the end of that first quarter there. How do you get some more opportunities going your way?
Yeah, I thought we're probably lucky to be where we're at. They had more of the game, and it's really around the contest. So our contest method at times was a bit off in terms of overusing the ball, when probably in these conditions we want to take the ball forward a little bit more.
Yeah, touch on the conditions there. They don't help at all today. Did you have to rework your game plan at all heading in, knowing what the weather could be doing today?
Yeah, well, it's actually probably better than we anticipated now that we're out here. But yeah, you definitely don't want to be overusing the ball in slightly breezy conditions, which probably in the first quarter we did.
The rain's coming a little bit later. I hate to tell you that, but good luck going on from here.
Cheers.
Come on, just delivering a little bit of bad news. Doc Clark there on the boundary, but the 2-time premiership coach, hopefully it's not the end of his coaching career. Of course, announced he was departing at the start of the season. Is there one more finals campaign left for the Crows and Doc Clark as we get the second quarter underway? Fremantle by a point. Decisive tap down from Allen to Hatchard. Chasing after it is Goodwin. Gets it onto the right. Up to half forward. And as she does so well, Emma O'Driscoll read it best and takes an intercept mark.
It's been so reliable across that half-back line.
So the best kick, you give her a wrap. She turns it over to Ponto, who sends it back into the pocket. And guess what? Emma O'Driscoll wrote it best.
She's racking up the stats.
See, she's better by disposal this time. Sends it to a contest. How about the fly, Jess Allen?
Got some hops there, Jess Allen. Got great reach, we know.
Nice little highlight here. Bombs it into the pocket. Kick will bounce over the boundary line.
It's not a bad result, though. Deep inside, the Crows forward 50. Didn't get a lot of opportunity. But how's that for an opportunity there from Jess Allen? Wonderful, Mark.
And just a little one given to our opposing ruck in Mim Strong. Just going to take a little hanger on you just to continue that little battle.
It's never fun when you've got someone on your back. You'll turn around and look at who it is, and if it's your direct opponent, never fun.
This time Mim Strong battling Caitlin Gould in the ruck. Gould at ground level gets a hevel away. Newman, hurry kick off the right. A bouncing ball to the teeth of goal. Driscoll.
3 really critical marks and about 90 seconds from her.
It's a tough mark to take as well, sort of down to your bootlaces. Dockers generate some run off half back. I think it's a turnover from Adelaide Webster. Chelsea Bedell, another great intercepting defender. Going up to half forward. Hatchard, the target, coming across, was strong. Brought it to ground. Marinoff to Jones to Allen. Does she have possession? It goes over the boundary line. It's going to be thrown back in.
So we mentioned earlier the tackle count. Ed Marinoff closing in on the 1,000 tackles in her career. Currently on 2 for the game. 3 more and she clocks over 1,000 tackles.
It's an incredible effort.
Think about the average of the two players, though, and that coming into tonight's game, Bowers averages 12.4 in her career and Marinoff 9.6.
And they've basically swapped who's taken the number one tackler by numbers sort of every season. They just kind of alternated. And here's McCarthy, and there's Marinoff on cue with another tackle to her career, and this time she earns herself a free kick.
Well, that's number 4 now. They've given her an extra one on the stat sheet. 1 to go.
Sends it long to a contest. Off hands, who's lurking? Newman swoops. Gets on the outside of the boot. It's going to bounce it half forward. Ponter out to meet it. Slip through the hands of Lowe. It stays alive for the Crows. Dockers have the numbers. Strong. Taken to ground illegally. It'll be a free kick.
Strong's doing a mountain of work behind the ball. She's working super hard, deep defence. She's chopped in a number of times when the Crows have come forward. An exceptional.
Covering so much ground. Already had 9 disposals and 3 inside 50s. A couple of clearances as well from Ben Strong. Crows through Biddell. Sends it into the corridor, and it's a free kick for a block in the contest to Anne Hatchard. 100 games for Anne Hatchard today. Sends the Crows inside forward 50. Kaufman couldn't complete the mark, then has to turn defensive on Goodwin. Kelly slips the tackle onto the left, sends it towards goal, and it swings back late. Great effort, the Crows have 2 on the board.
Well, they've reversed that inside 50 count, Jeffs, from quarter time. 5-0 inside 50 this quarter. The Dockers' defence have been under all sorts of pressure, and eventually the damn wall was going to burst. And it did. Lovely long leg there by Grace Kelly. Got one on the board for this quarter, and they've taken the lead back.
A great effort from Grace Kelly. She gets the first goal of the second quarter and hands the lead back to Adelaide. And that's our second lead change of the game so far. Back in the middle we go. Newman fires out a hand pass. Boyle Carr, Newman off to Hatchard. A little bit too much on the handball. Open the door for McCarthy. To East. Gets around the would-be tackler. Over the head of O'Sullivan. It's knocked to ground. Bowers. It's backwards by hand. Low. Stripped to the footy. Ball locked up.
Well, that's probably the most promising passage of play we've seen from Fremantle this quarter.
Strong just takes it out of the ruck. Bangs it forward for the Dockers. A bouncing ball inside forward 50. It gets out the back. Who's there for the Dockers? It's all Crows. Is Tonnen. Gets it out of defensive 50. Bounces in front of Marinoff. Goes in board. Put Goodwin under a bit of pressure, but she's good enough to take the mark. Bouncing ball into the centre of Norwood Oval. Tapping it hard as West. To Verrier. Now the run of Newton. West stolen away, penalised. The Crows with a fast transition to punish them on the counter-attack. Ponter sends it into the pocket. It's going to bounce in front of Gould. Kicked a goal in that opening quarter. She handballs it out to Jones. A high up and under. And it's going to be out of bounds on the full and be a free kick to Fremantle.
Well, Fremantle had all the numbers then through the corridor. Maybe just trying to play a little bit too quick, a little bit too clever. Sometimes you've just got to make it very, very simple for yourselves. Maintain possession, move the footy forward.
They've had dominance over Fremantle in the 10 seasons of the AFLW. They lead the head-to-head 8-1, the Crows, as we head down to the boundary to Mon.
As you can imagine, but they did want to put a bit more focus on Maddie Newman. She's having arguably a breakout season for the Crows this year, and she's playing a bit of a sweeper role today, and a couple of times Freo's been caught ball watching.
Yeah, leading the disposals with 12. These Crows win themselves a free kick. Send it inside forward 50. Ash Brazel attacking it hard. It's got to get rid of it. Look out! Didn't get rid of it in time. The Crows have lifted here in the second quarter. The only goal so far through Grace Kelly.
+5 contested possessions this quarter.
They go inside the arc again, out to meet it is Gould, just couldn't hang on. Knocked away from Hatchard. Marinoff, look out, tackled by Bowers. The two tackling machines of the AFLW. Bowers earns herself a free. Kicks it to the outer side, it's off hands. Mueller swoops, ends it off to Boyle Carr. Spills to Jones. Measures her kick beautifully to Boyle Carr. One of the 4 changes to Adelaide's lineup today. Sends it to a pack inside forward 50. Kelly the target, brought to ground. McCarthy to Newton, and now Verrier. They can look to exit defence the Dockers. Crows have the numbers. Boundary line beats everyone and will have a throw in.
Just feeling like Adelaide's experience really coming to the fore. They just seem a little bit more composed. They're managing the pressure better. They're able to create more pressure on the Fremantle disposal, and that's just the contested work from the Crows. They're +6 in the contested count, +8 on the uncontested footy as well.
Fremantle with the winning form coming into this one. They've won their last 3. Adelaide have lost their last 2 to North Melbourne by 40 in that thrilling showdown against Port Adelaide. Do you think psychologically that will worry the Crows coming into today, Shiloh, or do you think their experience?
I think there's a lot of belief in the Fremantle camp. They know they're coming. Proved so much each year, just such growth. Certainly under Lisa Webb, been extraordinary.
As Ponta wins the hard ball off to Hatchard, a wobbly kick to the teeth of goal. Gets through a few sets of legs and dribbles out of play. Zoe Prowse has had a change of uniform at quarter time. She started the game in long sleeves and changed her mind.
Because we know it's pretty wet underfoot, down on ground.
So we had a bit of rain pre-game. It's held off so far, but we believe, as Mon told us earlier, that there's a bit more rain coming. And I think we're going to have a repeat ball in.
Might be a little bit slippery in the umpire's hands as well.
Indy Strom had a play at it, couldn't take it with her. Gould slaps it on. Good win. It's a handball out, only as far as Verrier. Ball spills free to McCarthy. A hurry kick off the boots, knocked away from O'Sullivan. Well done, Custerman. To engage and goes out of bounds. Crows wanted insufficient attempt. They didn't get it. Gabby O'Sullivan, a really key inclusion. She missed a couple of weeks with a foot injury, but her presence was felt. She came back last week, had a goal and 10 disposals. She's one of the inaugurals out there as well. 31-year-old made her debut in the inaugural season. There she is on cue. Stannon. Here's some run and dash for the Dockers. We haven't seen much of that in the second quarter, but they can only go as far as Bedell is like a brick wall at half-back. Aggressive kick into the corridor. Spills to ground. Verrier laying an important tackle, and we've got a ball up.
And it's just that kick moving forward from defence to offence, just not able to find a clear target up forward. Bedell's just got them covered.
Strong barrels at forward. They go inside forward 50, but they don't look likely at the moment when they go forward, the Dockers. Crows defence holding up. Bouncing ball into the centre of Norwood Oval. Pugh sends them to half forward again. No one really there for the Dockers. And a strong mark taken by Kaylee Cronin.
And it's just a tightening up by the Adelaide Crows from the first quarter. Dockers are having to kick and hope. They've just got no time at the moment to be able to set and look for a target.
And we touched on it, the Dockers had a mammoth amount of inside 50s in that first quarter, but didn't quite get the reward on the scoreboard. And Adelaide have turned the tables here in the second. They pump it long again. Sensational mark taken in defence by Indy Strong. What a debut season she's had.
What a team to have 2 Strongs.
Yeah.
One's good enough, but to get 2.
We almost had 3 sets of sisters out there today. Unfortunately, Neve Kelly out. Sister Grace is out there. We've got a pair of Allens. A pair of strongs.
So inside 50 count this quarter, 11-2.
How's the pressure on the mark from Tia Charlton?
Not giving anything away, the Adelaide Crows. Probably figure they were pretty lucky in the first quarter to get away with a lower scoreboard result from Fremantle, given the inside 50 count they had.
Yeah, 11-2 inside 50 is the way the Crows this quarter. In the first, it was 17-3 the way the Dockers. So plenty of footy happening at this end of the ground. And the arm wrestle continues. Fremantle by a point a quarter time. Had a goal each in the opening quarter. Caitlin Gould and Hayley Miller got on the scoreboard, and just the one goal in this second quarter going the way of Grace Kelly, which handed the lead back to Adelaide. So since the Crows had the first score of the day, we've had 2 lead changes. Marinoff trying to get a handball away. Kickwhack gets it out. Easton a one-on-one, juggling effort. Has turned it over to Tonnen, not the required distance, had to play on. Gives it to Bedell. Bombs it back inside forward 50. The Dockers have the numbers. They didn't take the mark. Opens the door for Ponta. Low. Hurry kick around the corner. It's going to come back in again. Sarah Allen to send them forward. 4 minutes left in the opening half. Kicks it to the teeth of goal. Hands to a goal. Couldn't hang on. Plenty of numbers around this footy. It's not coming out.
So Dockers have really, really tightened up. They've had to put lots of numbers down in defence, stopping Adelaide having any easy access to goal, even though they're just pummelling the inside 50 count.
Now get another look here. Boyle Carr bombs it to full forward. Again, the Dockers have the numbers. Indy Strom. Sensational grab in the last line of defence. Just 21 years of age. In a debut AFLW season, has played every game so far. Gould to Marinoff. Charlton, there's a whistle on play. Free kick to Adelaide.
So this is the first real look at goals Adelaide have had, even though they've had the forward 50 dominance, 15-2 this quarter. It's their first real look at it since early in the quarter. No one's been able to get any easy possession, any clear shot on goal for about the last 10 minutes or so.
Tia Charlton is part of their premiership side in season 6. She's hooked it.
It's that finals pressure, Jess. I know we're not in finals. They're playing to get into finals, but it's a finals-like game. Of course, the result of this game determining essentially the last 3 spots on the ladder. Adelaide win, they'll finish 6th. Fremantle win by enough, they'll finish 6th. They draw, they're both in, and West Coast are out.
That's crazy. It's been a remarkable final round of season 10 of the AFLW. Another inside 50 opportunity for the Crows. Brazel's out to meet it, shares it with O'Driscoll. It's a good kick to find Kickwhack. This is where it's broken down for the Dockers in the second quarter. Miller out to meet it, couldn't complete the grab, has to get rid of it. She's under pressure. Now the cavalry arrive for the Crows. McCarthy, ball spills free, and it goes over the line in front of the 2 interchange gates.
There's terrific effort there by Miller. Was able to get a clean possession, but importantly, didn't give away the free kick. Was able to get the ball over the boundary, create a 50-50 ball. The Dockers can reset from here. Give the defenders a little bit of a break. They've been under all sorts of pressure this quarter.
Less than 2 minutes to play in the second. Strom palms it down. Chest for Boylo. Found some room to move. Sends it to half forward. Mark not paid to Kelly. Play on's the call. Kaufman gets it out. Verrier sends it to a vacant wing. Mueller will be first there for the Crows. Takes on Stannett. But has sent it out of bounds on the full free kick to the Dockers.
Yeah, great pressure there by Stannett just to be able to affect the kick, force the ball outside. Fremantle win the footy back, just good pressure work.
Off hands and out of play. We'll have a throw in on the outer wing. It's Matthew Clark. Watches on from the sidelines.
Not a bad result to get a clearance. They're +3 in the clearance count this quarter, Fremantle.
Adelaide by 6. Fremantle by a point at quarter time. They've done all the scoring, the Crows. 1 goal, 1. Fremantle hasn't scored. McCarthy jams it on the boot. Brisbane couldn't hang on. Well done by Cronin. Big ball to be won this. Tonnen and O'Sullivan both go to ground. Stannett likewise. Marinoff. Kick smothered off the boot. Allen, head over the footy strong, right there with her. Sarah Allen, out the back. Gets on the right boot. A bouncing ball down the line. Rashid, incredible follow-up tackle from Driscoll. Ball spills free. Charlton sends the Crows to half forward. Bounced in a favour of Brazel. Charlton chases after her own footy. Wobbly kick inside the arc. Kelly tackled. Ball was out of bounds, and we're going to have it thrown back in as Rashid coming off worse for wear. Let's get a look at this on replay.
Hobbling off on the bench, up to the bench. It's not good for the Crows and the youngster.
Into the final 10 seconds of a quarter that's been dominated by the home side, Adelaide. O'Sullivan. As the seconds tick down, the ball's on the wing. And that'll mark the end of a tight battle here in the opening half. A place in the finals is on the line this afternoon. And after Fremantle led at quarter time by a point, it was all Adelaide in that second quarter. They kicked the only goal through Grace Kelly. Caitlin Gould got their afternoon underway with a goal in the first quarter. And 1 goal to Hayley Miller of Fremantle in that opening quarter. 1 goal, 1 to no score in that second quarter the way of the Crows. They lead by 6 points. Ebony Marinoff with 15 disposals, 4 tackles. She's 1 away from 1,000 career tackles. Just another record for Ebony Marinoff today. Goodwin with the 14 disposals. She started strongly for Adelaide. Nimstra, she's had a great first half for the Dockers. 12 disposals, 5 inside 50s. 5 clearances as well in the opening half. This is the live ladder. It's winning her in, or it's a win-win draw if they can't be split at the end of the day. Both Adelaide and Fremantle will make the 8 and West Coast will drop out. It's an unlikely scenario, but we have to be a little bit prepared for everything as we head to the boundary to Monique van der Hayden.
Thanks, Jess. Ebony, you were able to flip the script on them that quarter. What did you have to do to get things going back your way?
Yeah, just more momentum in our forward half. I think a bit handball happy in the first quarter. It was rained all arvo, so I think our ability to just get it forward, and our forwards are looking dangerous.
They are, and as a result, you were able to even up the inside 50 count, but you were only able to get the 1 goal that quarter. What do you have to do to make more of those opportunities?
Yeah, like you touched on, we've even up that inside, but it's scoreboard pressure. It was pretty disappointing to have so much forward momentum and not able to score, but just stick with it, hot pressure game.
Thanks, Ebony. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Thanks, Maud and Ebony. Well, it has been a thrilling end to the final round of the NAB AFLW season in its milestone 10th season, but we have seen some serious highlights in the milestone season as we take you to the halftime break. Let's check out the best of the best.
Inside 50, central fly. The first kick, and it's a goal.
Back to Jessie in her 75th AFLW game.
All right, there we go. While we're just waiting for the commentators to come back, there's a little bit of analysis on the opening half here, folks. It's Adelaide going into half-time. Leaders just by 1 goal, 2-2-14. The Dockers, 1-2-8. I tell you what, Dockers didn't score a cracker in that second term. Adelaide, 1 goal, 1. I tell you what, Adelaide were peppering down the goals down there, but it has been a fantastic defensive game by both teams here. And of course, Fremantle Dockers were certainly put under the pump in that second term, but managed to hold on really, really well. Just trailing by a goal there, of course, gone from 1 point up to 6 points down, but that's all right. I think the Dockers will be going with the favoured end in the third term here, so it'll be interesting to see what they can do. Can they get a couple of goals up and put the pressure right back on Adelaide? That's what we're about to find out after the halftime break, folks. After the halftime breaks, let's go and just check out some of these stats. The goal scorers, we've got 1 additional goal scorer. Of course, Hayley Miller, the single goal scorer there for the Fremantle Dockers. Grace Kelly. Wow, there's a famous name. Grace Kelly and Caitlin Gould, both singles there for the Adelaide Crows. Just looking at the disposal count now, Ebony Marinoff doing well. 15 touches so far up until half-time. 9 kicks, 6 handballs, a mark, 4 tackles, doing well. Sarah Goodwin also having a ring-a-ding-ding game there for the Crows. 14 touches. She's had 7 and 7. She's had 2 marks, 6 tackles, 2 clearances. She's working hard today. Mim Strom still doing her role for the Dockers. She's up to 12 disposals, 11 kicks. She loves the kicks. She's had 9 hit-outs, 5 clearances, so she's doing really, really well there. Madison Newman up to 12. Newton and McCarthy both on 11 there for the Dockers. Hatchard Gould and Amy Boyle-Carr on 10 for the, there we go, for the Adelaide Crows. They're all your players in double figures so far up until half-time. And we'll just roll on down a little bit more. We'll just have a look at some of the team stats as well. Brooke Tonon is on 6 there for the Crows. Bowers on 7 for the Dockers. Let's see some of the other girls going down the board here. There we go. Gabby O'Sullivan, just the 3 touches so far, 2 kicks, 1 handball. Jess Ellen there for the Crows. She's just had the 3 touches, 1 kick, 2 handballs. She's had a mark. She's had 5 tackles, 10 hit-outs, 2 clearances. So she's doing pretty good as well. Just having a little bit of a glance at the team stats. Adelaide just creeping out, getting on top. They're plus 17 in the disposal count overall. Now, if we go just down there and have a, do you remember, folks, the inside 50 count at quarter time? It was about 3 to 17, I think. It was about 3 to 17 Dockers way. There we go. 17 to 2 inside 50s in that second term. Adelaide's way, they've creeped their nose in front. 20 to 19 are the inside 50 count. 4 scoring shots to 3. So she's a pretty even game out here by the girls today. They're both doing fantastic. You know, I think both of these teams, they're a big chance if they actually get through today's match. They can go a little bit further in the season, through the finals. There we go. 9 free kicks to 5. Adelaide's way, I do find some of the umpiring has certainly been on Adelaide's favour a little bit. But there we go. You do get that. There we go. 14 to 10, the hit-outs. Adelaide by 4 there. Dockers doing well in the clearances. 17 to 10. They're plus 7 there, and it's all coming through the stoppage clearances. 15 to 8. That's where their 7 is, because there's 2 apiece in the centre clearances. Contested possession. Well, Adelaide, a little bit stronger there. They're plus 8 there. Uncontested. They're just creating a little bit more space. The Dockers controlling that ball at times. 78-59. They're plus 19 there. Just looking at the marks, though, 23-21. Both teams grabbing the ball pretty well. Dockers still 2 to 1. Marks inside 50, 4 to 2. Still a little bit stronger in the air. A couple of beautiful contested strong marks in defence by the Fremantle Dockers there, which is really good. Tackle count. Both teams, look, they've really come out to play. We know when the pressure's on, some of the good teams, they tackle hard, and they really do put the pressure on. Both teams, they've done that today. 42-47. Dockers plus 5. That's fantastic. Both teams going well above their season average. 6 to 3 inside 50 tackles. Dockers doing well. Just have a look at that live ladder now. That is the difference from when we saw before. Fremantle were up into about 7th spot, I think, when they go in front of this game. But as it stands, with Adelaide being a goal in front, Adelaide will jump up to 6. Freo will drop down to 11. So, tell you what, this is going to ebb and flow. This is going to ebb and flow. As I said, folks, we've got scenarios left, right, and centre here. Just remember, whoever wins this game goes into the finals. If it's a draw, if this game is a draw, both teams, Adelaide and Fremantle, will be in the top 8, and West Coast Eagles will drop out. That's how much value this game this afternoon has in the bearings to the finals coming up next weekend. All right, hey, that's enough for me. Just for now, I'll just get back down to the commentators and let them have a little bit of a chin wag on the opening half.
in the competition alongside Ali Anderson. 15 disposals at halftime, including 5 goals. We've had a stats update in the halftime break, which means Shiloh, she's notched up 1,000 career tackles
Yeah, it's
in the
fantastic.
AFLW. What a player.
Fantastic, and we can see some more action there. You wouldn't want to be on the end of that from Ed Marinoff, but she hunts the ball, Jess, and it's why she's been one of the most prolific ball winners in the competition, because she does the hard work to win the hard ball, and you love a player like that. And then she presents for her teammates constantly. What a great workhorse she is.
I'm loving the battle she's having with Kiara Bowers of the Dockers. 7 tackles to that was at halftime. Loving those 2 tackling machines go at it. We have a massive second half to come. Win and you're in, and you play finals in 2025. Looking forward to it, and we'll see you on the other side of the break. Battling it out for the last spot in the AFLW top 8, and it's a tight contest at half time. It was Fremantle by a point at quarter time. Adelaide turned the tables to lead by 6 at the main break, 2-2-14, leading Fremantle 1-2-8. As we head down to the boundary line to Mon, it's been raining, the rain's held off, we may have rain coming. What do you got for us down there?
Yeah, thanks, Jess. I have put my weather woman hat on during the break. All I'm missing is my green screen, but I've been keeping a very close eye on the weather radar. And the good news is the worst of the rain should be missing us here at Norwood, but we will be getting some light drizzles throughout this second half. So thankfully, I will not be getting too soaked on the boundary today, but every opportunity will mean that much more in this second half. Now, I do want to give a quick shout out to Sarah Goodwin as well. She is currently sitting on 14 disposals and 6 tackles. Her pressure is fantastic, but it's her composure with ball in hand that's really taken a big step up since she made that move over from the crosstown rivals.
Absolutely. Thanks, Monia. Sarah Goodwin has put together a fabulous season, just 21 years of age. Debuted in season 7. Shiva, she's a player who seems to go from strength to strength, and she's got a bright future ahead of her. And again, one of these young players out there today that we are really excited about.
Well, at one end of the spectrum, we're talking about Hatchard and Marinoff in the plus 100 game category, and at the other end, you've got to have young players coming through the ranks. We talked about India Rashid earlier, and Goodwin, she's had a cracking season.
Absolutely. So here we go. Third quarter about to get underway. Crows by 6 at half-time. Strong, decisive tap in the middle. Marinoff pushing back against Newton. Not happy with that.
Marinoff, I've certainly asked the question.
So we've had a bit of an arm wrestle in the opening half, Shy. If it stays tight and contested like this, who does it favour? We've got the added variable of potentially rain coming that might keep it that way, but if this game breaks open, if you expect that to happen, who does that favour? It's just such a fascinating battle.
You do wonder whether or not the rain coming, if it stays away, it might favour Adelaide, probably a little bit taller across the ground. If the rain does come, I feel like it might favour the ground runners of Fremantle.
Oh, beautiful tap down to McCarthy. Gets it on a right boot to full forward. It's off hands. Tonnen, Allen and Mueller combine in the defensive 50 to repel. Bouncing ball to the outer side. Prowse out to meet it. Off to Marinoff. Slips the Bowers tackle. Not easy to do. Boyle Carr. Swung to the turf by Bowers. If she won't get you once, she'll get you the second time. Gets herself a free kick. Sends him inside the arc. McCarthy to Kaufman. Snaps around the corner to the teeth of goal. Bouncing ball. Allen sees it over for a behind.
She reads the game so well, doesn't she, Sarah Allen? Doesn't overcommit unnecessarily. Once she's read exactly where the ball is going to go, she plays her role. She's so reliable.
Game at number 93 for Sarah Allen today, the 3-time premiership defender. Strom sends the Dockers back inside the arc to a 2-on-2 in front. Brisbane could have come down with a mark, but fires out a hand pass. Who's there for the Dockers? Crows get their first. Marinoff, was she tackled without it? Umpire says play on. Newman to Mueller, set upon by a couple of Dockers. Ball spills free. Miller head over it. Handball just missed Newton. She can go back in and get it again. Seth sends it into the pocket. Crows have the numbers and a couple of pretty experienced defenders there in Bedell and Allen, who killed that contest. So Shy, another variable to add to this. We've got the contested game so far in the opening half. Who does that favour? Maybe the rain comes, maybe it doesn't. But close finishes this season as well favours the Dockers.
Absolutely it does. Games decided by 2 goals or less for both of these teams this year. Adelaide are 1-3. The Dockers are 3-1.
Just adds another intriguing layer to this contest here today. Carthy tackled. Banfield going nowhere. Of course, crosses his arms.
Two of those 3 wins, Jess. West Coast Eagles +7 and GWS +7 in really wet conditions, both of those games.
So they want the rain to come. The Dockers, Miller squeezes a kick forward only as far as Mueller. Bangs it out of the danger zone. Bounces in front of Kelly. And soccers it off the turf. Big ball to be won in the middle. Collision coming up. Well done, Prowse and West. Only eyes for the footy. Gets at the back to Hatchard. Bumped as she kicked it. To the middle of Norwood Oval. Off hands. Kelly again soccers it forward. O'Driscoll. Tackled by Jones. Rashid with the fend off. And now here's the run of Amy Boyle-Carr. Kicks it into the pocket. Mark couldn't be completed. Gould. Ball spills free. West Dockers defence under pressure. They send it outside defensive 50, and that is a free kick going the way of Jess Allen.
Danger signs here for Adelaide, for the Dockers. When they've had the ball in their D50, they've really struggled to exit.
Massive bomb into the pocket. Gould the target, knocked away from her. Coming through low to Newton to Bowers. Long down the line, Brisbane, outstretched arms. Couldn't get there. Tonnen out the back for the Crows. Squeezes a kick forward, not the required distance. Allen back to Tonnen. Now puts a little bit more air into it. It bounces in front of Kelly. Gets onto the left. Inside 50. Strong. Underneath it. Kicks laterally to O'Driscoll. The Dockers can look to generate something from D50.
This is better, opening the ground up, getting a bit of space.
Swings it across to Brazel. Now they go down the line to a one-on-one. Mueller against young Banfield. Strong pair of hands, the 20-year-old. Playing career game number 8. Into the corridor for Biden Webb-Webster.
It's much better by Fremantle, better build-up.
Now up to half forward, they've got McCarthy in space. Open forward, 50 to work with. The kick goes to a 2-on-2. Oh, incredible mark, Hayley Miller. And she will shoot for the Dockers' second and her second of the game. Oh, what an effort.
It's a wonderful contested mark, so strong through the core, standing up in that contest, Jess.
Fremantle's first ever draft pick, number 4 way back in 2016. She's been there since day one, the All-Australian, best and fairest, a leading goal kicker and former captain. Sprays it across the face. Some consecutive behinds to the Dockers to start this third quarter.
Important for the Dockers here to be able to set up really well behind the footy. They've done the work to bring it downfield, changed how they did it, how to get some opportunity. Can they trap it here?
Through the hands of Lowe. Finds her boot. Pokes it inside forward 50 by Webster. Uses the run of Newton. Into the pocket. Banfield, Mueller. Well done on the contest. Dockers have the numbers here. Gets out the back. Mimstrom. First to meet it. A little bit of a fumble. Grace Kelly. Newton. Tackle by Marinoff. Just dropped the footy. Mimstrom. Boot to ball. Biden Webb-Webster to Lowe as they close in on McCarthy. Still alive here for the Dockers. Strong pokes it forward. Miller clean off the ground to Pugh. Newton. Now West onto the boot. As she has done so often in her career. Allen takes a defensive mark. But has turned it over. So another repeat opportunity with Banfield. Can she hit a target? And she can, and it's a good target as well in Ash McCarthy.
Ash McCarthy wanted that, didn't she? Eyes lit up. She was calling for it immediately. Needed to go back and reset, but was able to hold that front spot. No Adelaide Crow play to jump into the runway.
She's having a stellar season, Ash McCarthy, coming off a career best 32 disposals. She can't bend it back. It stays alive for the Dockers. It's knocked back into play. Low in the pocket to O'Sullivan. The veteran snaps towards the teeth of goal, Bedell. Saves it,
Well, they're staying within striking distance, Jess. Not letting Adelaide get ahead of them.
On goal 5, their return. Adelaide 2-2.
You never want behinds to beat you at the end.
It's a sour feeling.
We've seen it a number of times, haven't we, Jess? With Melbourne, Geelong in finals campaigns previously.
Aggressive kick into the middle of the ground and strong. Standing like a brick wall. 16 disposals, 13 hit-outs, 5 clearances, 9 contested possessions. It's a dangerous kick. East has some work to do. Back to Mimstrom. Low, a little fumble. Has time to regather. Hands it off to Newton. Kick misses McCarthy. Coming through Allen. Well, Carr couldn't take it with her. Low, beaten Webster. Just have to handball it forward. The Crows can work it out, although beaten Webster closing Her opponent down, low, jams it on the boot. A high kick into the pocket, it's going to bounce. Miller keeps it alive. Has she got support in ball? She does. Ash McCarthy, this time from the pocket, nails it. And the Dockers are back in front.
Well, the Dockers have changed their game plan a little bit. They're trying to open the field up a little bit more, but when they're stuck in traffic, just shorter possessions, getting the outnumber in tight, nice and close in that first ring, trying to create the outside player, the outnumber, and it's worked for them. They've just narrowed the field a little bit for themselves, and Adelaide haven't gone with them. 9 inside 50s to 3 this quarter. 1 goal, 3 for them.
Ash McCarthy, her first goal of the afternoon, her 8th for the season as she's handed the Dockers the lead. And this is the 4th time this live ladder has changed so far. These two sides trading blows. We've had 4 lead changes, or 3 lead changes, and scores were level, which means they both make finals. Anything can happen today. Crows win an important clearance. Send it to half forward. Was Hatchard tackle without it? No, says the umpire. A lot of numbers around this footy. But it somehow finds Poncher in space, who sends it towards goal, but it's missing to the left.
Uncharacteristic miss by Ponter. It's the moment, it's the occasion. Big games. We all know what's at stake.
She's got the most goals ever in finals. I think she did have that record at one stage. Wouldn't surprise me.
Class has been such an amazing finals performer for so many years, Danielle Ponter.
Sullivan down low, couldn't complete the mark, has to play on. Now to East. Seth bombs it long down the line. Kaufman, and it's over the line.
You know, the Fremantle are really happy for Adelaide to push further up ground and then hold the ball defensively, using the ball with some shorter options to create out numbers in their defensive half, and they're able to spot up a loose player further upfield if they need it. It's a nice little change up from Lisa Webb.
Krause and Rock palms it down. McCarthy. Boundary line beats her.
And it's a good change up from the last quarter too, Jess, where Fremantle were just sort of kicking and hoping in that last quarter. It's never good footy, never going to win your games. It's a nice change up. She's got their head settled again. They're back playing their method and choosing how they use the ball, not being forced to move it in a way they don't want to.
Lisa Webber, 3rd season in charge. Dockers making finals last year after missing the previous couple of years before that. I don't know if Driscoll to keep it alive, but has come up the way of Ponter. Just got the handball out. Ought to be one on the wing. Good win. And O'Driscoll brings it aground. Kaufman swoops. Skies it to half forward. Off hands. Coming through Verrier. Sweeping hand pass to Biden Webster. Wants to take on Cronin. Then gets a handball away. Biden Webster goes again. Off the side of the boot. A bouncing ball into the pocket. Bedell is there for the Crows. Just got rid of it. Thompson. Stannett. Bounces into the pocket. No, Sullivan is brought to ground by Kaylee Cronin. What an opportunity for Cronin. Game number 4 in her career, the Irish product. Hasn't played since round 3. And it's a basic final out there today. That ball's over the line and out.
I don't often think you can fast-track experience, Jess. You just have to go out and have it. But if you're playing games like this in the early part of your career, you're really starting to learn from day one, you know, what's required to be an elite performer at this end of the season.
And Kayla Cronin, of course, an elite performer in Gaelic footy. She knows about big stages. Out of County Kerry, led them to a first All-Ireland final win in 31 years, and she was player of the match too.
Not a bad CV to come into the AFLW with.
And there she is getting a kick away. It's It's repelled by the Dockers. They surge forward again. This time Pugh sends them to full forward. Crows have the numbers. Almost got each other's way, but Bedell stands tall.
You can see there the desperation there by the Adelaide defenders, both fighting over it, unaware that the other one had hands on the ball.
That ball bounces off the chest of Rashid, the Rising Star nominee of last week. Here's Kelly. Kick around the corner. Now the race is on. Indy Strong will be first there for the Dockers. She gives it to O'Driscoll. Dinky little kick forward, but it might work out. It does to West, who sends it out wide. Didn't quite have the carry to Verrier. Now she's in a wrestle. Coming through Thompson, speaking about experience. Ball gets out the back to McCarthy to kick a whack. Couldn't complete the mark. Marinoff missed her boot. I think Bowers might have caught one. It's whacked forward by the Crows, but O'Driscoll once again.
She's played a game, hasn't she? Just sat in the hole, did what's required, hasn't broken down the structure, so disciplined.
The defenders at either end of the ground too. There's been a lot of those great intercept marks. Kick whack down low. Crows have the numbers here. Thompson can give it to Tonnen. Now over the top to Cronin. Big left boot to half forward. Charlton nudged out O'Driscoll but couldn't hang on. Let's take a look at this incident to Kiara Bowers a couple of moments ago. And just a stray arm just ran straight into the arm of Marinoff. No intent there shown by Ebony. Just add that little subplot to the battle between Marinoff and Bowers. Umpire circling this one. He's going to call holding the ball. Here's a big opportunity for the Crows.
Inside 50s is quarter 5-11 Fremantle's way.
Marinoff sends it into the pocket. What a delivery onto the chest of Grace Kelly.
Gee, she disguised that beautifully, didn't she? Kept it nice, low and flat. Grace Kelly, great connection there. Everyone else probably traversing further downfield, thinking she might try and hit up the hot spot in the goal square. Lovely connection. Kick the last goal of the game at the 4-minute mark of the second quarter. This for another lead change. Sends it on its way, and it's got there. And the Crows are back in front. Well, that's an enormous goal, Jess, in the context of this game. Coming into three-quarter time, for one of these teams potentially 20 minutes or so remaining in their season. Adelaide have had no forward half territory dominance at all this quarter. Just a 6 inside 50s to 11. And the one that they come down, the first one in the space of about the last 10 minutes. They'll able to convert that and turn it into a goal and retake the lead. Well done.
Well, this is turning into an incredible contest. Every time I've seen a goal kicked today, the lead has changed. And we've still got a quarter and a bit to play. Crows now back in front by 4. Less than 2 minutes to play in the third. It's Winnenuri and high stakes stuff here in the final round of season 10 of the NAB AFLW. Ponta feeds it out to Marinoff. Bumped as she kicked it. It's going to bounce in front of Kelly. A couple of goals to her name today. Sockers it forward. Is that 15? It is.
Shortest 15 metres I think I've seen for a little while, Jess. But this is a really critical 70 seconds or so. Fremantle can't afford to let Adelaide score.
Gould off at a lead. It's on it, and she completes the mark. An important little burst here for Crows late in this third quarter. The Dockers kicked 1 goal, 3 to start the term to no score.
I think mentally, Jess, she kicks this going into three-quarter time, makes the task psychologically a bit harder for Fremantle.
I think you're right on the money, Shai. This is a big kick to Caitlin Gould. Kicked the first goal of the game. Sinks her boot into it and slams it into the post. Tensions continue to rise. Adelaide by 5.
Margin today not being any bigger than 6 points.
Chard strong in the contest to Thompson. Charlton with a couple of beats. East head over the footy. And we've got a ball up. So 19 seconds left in the third quarter. Ball up at half forward for Adelaide. Front of the grandstand here at Norwood Oval. Can they go into three-quarter time with the momentum? Dockers defence working hard. O'Driscoll to Miller. Look out, here comes Everydaypartoflife. Kicks it forward. Charlton, not the required distance as the siren sounds. And sets us up for a grandstand finish to season 10 of the AFLW competition. Win and you're in. And as we turn for home with one final quarter to play, Adelaide lead by 5. Hold on to your hats and do not go anywhere. Stay with us. The final quarter is coming up after the break. Toyota, oh, what a feeling moment in the second quarter. Grace Kelly broke a tackle, sent it on its way, and found the major opening for her first of 2 goals so far today. So here we go. There is 1 quarter left in season 10 of the NAB AFLW competition. Which of these 2 sides will play finals between Adelaide and Fremantle as we head straight to ground level to Monique van der Hayden?
Thanks, Jess. Lisa, plenty of momentum swings in this game so far. You were able to get on top briefly, but the Crows got back on top.
Yeah, they're just more effective in front of goal, so a focus for us, but we're really keen to outrun them in this quarter.
Pretty low scoring game so far. How do you make sure you get some more opportunities in this final term?
Yeah, we're certainly creating them, just not making the most of them. So we'll have a look at a couple of shifts during the game, but it's been a great battle and, yeah, looking forward to this last quarter.
Thanks. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks to Mona Lisa downstairs. Shy Lisa Webb said that she wants to run over them in this final quarter. In your opinion, who does have the legs?
Well, we know they're a super fit team, a great running side, Fremantle, the experience and the hard body work, the contested work of Adelaide. Interesting stat, Jess, left of screen. We've had 45 inside 50s left of screen on the right side. 14 Fremantle kicking right of screen. Adelaide have got left of screen this quarter.
It's all set up for us. How about the form of these two players today? Ebony Marinoff and Ash McCarthy have been dominant for their respective sides. Marinoff with the 23 disposals and 9 tackles to three-quarter time. McCarthy, 20 disposals, 4 clearances, 1 goal, 7 score involvements as well. And they are standing opposed to each other at this first centre bounce of the final quarter. Who's going to make it into the 2025 finals? There is only room for 1 or 2 if they draw. It's edge of your seat stuff as we get the final quarter underway. Strom down to Bowers. High up and under kick. It's not 15. It's brought to ground. Kaufman to Newton. Finds her boot. Down the line. Ebony Marinoff. Hands it off to Tonnen. Spears it down the line. It's going to bounce in front of Charlton, who can't keep it in play.
The disciplined work of Ebony Marinoff behind the ball, just zones off and waiting for that ball to come in, playing that defensive midfielder role, just chopping everything off, just so calm, patient. Such maturity in her game over the 10 seasons. Love to see it.
Prowse and Ruck against Strong. Good win. To half forward, massive contest. Multiple players go to ground, and it comes the Dockers' way. O'Driscoll bursting off half back, sends it to a one-on-one. Allen in front position, and the ground level gets a handball out to Tonnen, who's tackled immediately and brought to ground. We've got a ball up at half forward for the Dockers.
Massive opportunity here for Fremantle. We see the collision there. 3 players, 4 players in the contest. Hatchard not looking great, but Adelaide with 2 down. Ball's gone forward.
So Grace Kelly looking a little worse for wear. I think she's heading to the bench. We'll get Mon to be all over that. She's kicked 2 goals today. It's looked lively out forward for the Crows. Q to West. Tackled by Charlton. And he's going to be penalised for holding the ball. As Grace Kelly makes her way to the bench. Goodwin off the side of the boot. O'Driscoll will be first there. Takes on Ponta with a little burst of speed down the line. It'll bounce in front of Miller. Has some room on the outer wing. Can assess her options up ahead. A bouncing ball inside forward 50. Biden Webster against the experienced Allen. Allen goes to ground. Was she pushed? She was. Free kick.
Allen just so hard to play on. You think you've got to measure. She's just so... She has, for a tall player, the ability for Sarah Allen to be able to adjust, change direction.
3-time premiership winner, 3-time All-Australian defender. She hits Rashid.
It's good to see just then Grace Kelly pointing to her leg. Potentially it's a leg issue. You don't want to be having a concussion assessment right now.
Rashid to a contest. Hatchard lurking out the back. Hard ball to be won out there. Prowse coughed it up to Strong. Quick kick forward out of the pack. Bounce in front of Biden Webster, who tried to tap it on. It goes out of play as we get downstairs to Mon.
Thanks, Jess. Some big magnet changes there from Dot Clark there at three-quarter time. We've seen Ponta move straight into the midfield and Hatchard come into the forward line as well. And We mentioned India Rashid. She's obviously had a fantastic season, but she's currently carrying a bit of a corky, so they're going to try and manage her minutes here in this final term, just because she is moving a little bit slower than usual. I'll give you an update on Grace Kelly when I can as well.
Thanks so much, Mon. No score yet in this final quarter. Marinoff bangs it long. Off hands, McCarthy, strong. To Pugh, scrambles it to half forward. Sarah Allen in front position. Banfield. Sarah Allen follows up with a tackle. She's got to be rewarded. That is why she's one of the best defenders in the competition.
She's been enormous today, Sarah Allen. 17th disposal coming up for her. Just the 3 tackles, but just her defensive efforts, her 1%ers, her read of the play, composure. The amount of disposal she stopped the opposition having, Jess.
And this is what makes the Adelaide Crows such a dangerous team to play when the pressure's on, whether it's in finals or a finals-like game, as we're seeing today. It's the likes of Marinoff and Allen who have been there and done it before. Cream sometimes rises. But the Dockers have an opportunity as they go forward. Can they make the most of it? Goodwin, a little fumble. Kicks outside defensive 50. It's through the hands of Newton. Charlton gets there. Hatchard had to play at it. Newton. That's a really, really important contested mark to Webster over Allen because she can send the Dockers forward. Couple of kicks from goal. Elects to put it into the pocket to Miller. And she gets a free kick for high contact. It's a tough shot from here, but if anyone's up to the task, it's the former skipper and Hayley Miller.
That's a great sign there for Adelaide Crows. Grace Kelly back on the field. It's a huge collision.
Playing AFLW game number 92 today, Hayley Miller. Wheels inboard. She sends it to a dangerous position. It gets up the back, and the Crows are well represented. Mueller. Kelly's back onto the field, which is good news. Brazel's out the back. Hands it off. McCarthy. Spent it before she had it. Goodwin. Goodwin goes again. Keeps it alive down the boundary. Seth, oh, it went over the line. It's going to be a throw-in.
She did all the right stuff there, Jess. Seth had her hands on it, kept it inside, and it was just the wind-up for the hand pass. She brought it over the field. But the hands from Sarah Allen just then to get out of traffic, just so clean. If they win today, I'd probably say she's played a really big hand in that success.
6 minutes of game time have elapsed in this final quarter. We haven't had a score. Adelaide by 5 or 3/4 time. Newton scraps it forward and Sarah Allen once more.
Huge, huge last quarter from Sarah Allen.
She's been massive. Chance for Newton on the wing. O'Sullivan out to meet it. East. O'Sullivan. They link up by hand. Can they get out of traffic? They can. Bowers. Incredible smother by Sarah Allen again. She's a woman possessed. O'Sullivan. Head over the footy. The cavalry arrived. The ball is locked up.
Oh, wow. How good is Sarah Allen?
Take a bow.
I think the crowd has gotten around her. And she loves these kind of challenges, loves repeated efforts.
Boylo, she's tackled, she finds a boot. Big contest this in the middle of Norwood Oval. East, Newton, bangs it forward. Can they get a mark, the Dockers? Allen says no. She brings it to ground. Bowers taps it forward. East scrambles a kick. The Crows can exit defensive 50 again. Was that a clean possession? A disposal? It wasn't. It's a free kick to Fremantle.
Huge tackle there by Newton.
Tries to spear it to half forward, but has turned it over.
Probably don't want to be opening up the ground a little bit there. You want to play the percentages, maybe play it a little narrower, a little skinny up.
Boylo to a big contest on the wing. Eloise Jones. Sticky mitts.
Beautiful user of the ball. You love the ball in her hands.
6 inside 50s to none the way of the Dockers in this final quarter. Brazel standing in the way at half forward. We still haven't seen a score in this final term. Kikuak. It was off a few sets of hands. It's got to be a ball up on
Someone's
the wing.
head.
Strong against Jess Allen. Newton out the back to Strom. She's under pressure. She's turned it over. Newman to Jess Allen to Boylo. Great smother off the boot. Ricochets to Jones. Backwards by hand to Newman. Sends the Crows to half forward. Whistle on play. Free kick to Adelaide.
Little tug on the jumper there on Caitlin Gould. Just so dangerous.
This will be their first inside forward 50 of the final term. The Dockers have already had 6. Gould wants to take on Indy. Strom on the mark, and she just sends it out of bounds on the full.
Almost going to say a handy point for that draw there, Jess, but no, missed everything. Those playing along at home, a draw means both of these teams make it through to finals, and West Coast are out. Sorry to the West Coast fans to keep reminding you of that.
Gould will some contact. She completes the mark. This time sends it to a dangerous position. Hatchard! Couple of bites at it, and in game number 100 can potentially kick a vital goal. Well, champion players stand up in big moments. And she's done it plenty of times in her AFLW career. A 3-time premiership player, best on ground in a grand final, 4-time All-Australian. This a massive kick to potentially send the Crows into the finals. Adelaide lead by 11 with the first goal of the final term.
Well, that was a huge kick in the context of the game. Biggest margin of the game now sits in Adelaide Crows' hands. It was an almost indefensible kick there. Gould just popped it on the head of Hatchard, and poor O'Driscoll stuck there trying to do her best to defend, but Hatchard's just so strong. Finished brilliantly in her 100th game. Well done.
And didn't she love it? What a remarkable career, Anne Hatcher, potentially writing another chapter in 2025. In the 8 currently, as Shiloh Curtis just mentioned, the biggest lead of the game. 11 points, still plenty of time on the clock. Ponta wins the clearance, a sweeping hand pass to half forward. Grace Kelly out to meet it. Sends Adelaide forward once again. A 2-on-2, it gets out the back. Who can run onto it? Pugh. O'Driscoll on the last line of defence. And hits Newton. Moves it further afield. McCarthy. Spears it down the line. Or is that a free kick? It is. So O'Sullivan will get the free kick on the wing. They take the advantage because Mim Strom is off and running. It's a wobbly kick into the pocket. It's Kaylee Cronin against Kikuak. Cronin gets there first, and the boundary line beats them both. But this is an important forward 50 stoppage coming up for the Dockers.
Some tired legs there, Jess. Strom just couldn't get her legs out of the way of each other. Importantly, they've been able to get the ball inside 50. Can they get a score now out of this stoppage?
Mim Strom and ruck against Allen. Hatchard is there to tap it forward. O'Sullivan. Got a handball out. Boylo. O'Sullivan taps it into space. McCarthy tackled by Charlton. Stevie Lee Thompson in defence for the Crows, off to Boylo. Dockers have the numbers here. Pugh can bang him inside forward 50 again. Badell out to meet it. Well done, Kaufman. Stannett, right foot snap towards goal. It stays inside the field of play to Boylo, who's turned it over to Ash McCarthy. She centres the kick, hoping for a flyer. It gets out the back. Bowers boot to ball. It gets Marinoff on the last line of defence. Boylo squeezes a kick. Thompson slips one tackler off to Charlton. The Crows live to fight another day. The Dockers again have well representation on the wing, but O'Driscoll couldn't take the mark. Now she's got some work to do up against Eloise Jones, who holds the ball to her, and the umpire's going to say you didn't get rid of it. And they get around
No one on the mark. Poor checking there. So that's that mental part of the game. Finally put someone on the mark.
Less than 5 minutes to play. Crows by 11. The Dockers need 2 goals if they want to feature in the finals. And it's a sling tackle and a free kick to Adelaide.
And another error here. It's that mental game. Finals footy.
And it's a blood rule, so Tia Charlton will have to exit the arena. And the umpire is saying it's Tonan's free.
Not a bad moment here for Fremantle. They've got a little pause in play. Just have a bit of a rest. Just gather their thoughts, settle. They've got 4 minutes to find 2 goals. Adelaide, 4 minutes to defend 2 goals.
Brooke Tonnen, a crowded forward 50. She sends it to a dangerous position and it's off hands. Big tackle from Marinoff. 25 disposals, 14 tackles for Ebony Marinoff today, who earlier this afternoon surpassed 1,000 career tackles. First play to do it. Hatchard wraps up Newton and will do it all again as the seconds tick down. 3 minutes and 23 seconds left on the clock. Another repeat stoppage.
It's important stoppage time here for Adelaide, just starving Fremantle of the ball and the ability to take the ball down the other end.
Newton squeezes the kick forward. Stannon up against Tonnen. Stannon did well. Loops it over the top to Miller. Pumps it down the line. Louise Jones in position A.
Another big moment there for Jones. 8 disposals, 9 disposals today, but it's been 2 or 3 moments that have been just so crucial.
Pugh couldn't complete the mark. Bowers working hard, but runs straight into Ebony Marinoff. And now time becoming an enemy for Fremantle. McCarthy. We're going to have another throw in. 2 goals in 2 minutes is the task required now for the Dockers. Matthew Clark, the 2-time premiership coach, his career at the moment looks likely to extend. O'Sullivan sends it to half forward. Miller out to meet it at half forward. It's all or nothing now for Fremantle. She sends it towards the goal square. Eloise Jones gets back in defence and takes another important mark.
It's a great example of the importance of playing fast, not rushed. It's a rushed kick, no composure.
Hatchard got some high contact.
And it's that composure, Jess, that's the difference between teams that can win finals, can get there, can win finals, can go deep in finals, to be able to play a fast game under lots of pressure in a composed way.
Strong grab to Ebony Marinoff.
Felt today that the experience, Jess, has been where it's counted for the Adelaide Crows today.
And that's what makes them so dangerous in finals, Shai. They're a 3-time AFLW Premier for a reason. Still so many quality experienced players on their list. Gould pokes it into the pocket, but contact from one to another. Started with a free kick to Hatchard at half-back.
It's been some enormous performances.
Oh, she wants to hand it off to Boylo. The young 20-year-old might have the final say of the afternoon. She was an under-18s All-Australian, SANFLW Team of the Year, Brooke Boylo. She takes all of her time. She's the future of this Crows AFLW side. She misses near side. It makes it an even 12-point game, but with 15 seconds on the clock, you think we're not going to see the draw. Fremantle by a point at quarter time, Adelaide by 6 at the half. by 5 at the final change. These two sides have met 9 times previously in the AFLW competition. Adelaide have dominated the head-to-head 8-1. And it's quite fitting as we have a conference on the wing. It's going to be a free kick, and Sarah Allen, the clear best on ground this afternoon, has ball in hand as the siren sounds at Norwood Oval. The 3-time Premier of the Adelaide Crows are back where they belong. They punched their ticket into the 2025 AFLW finals. They are the competition's most successful club, and they are the team you do not want to run into in the finals. They clinched the last spot in the top 8. Fremantle were gallant. They came home strong in this season. They started 1-3, and they finished with 3 wins in a row before today. They almost got there, but it just wasn't quite enough in the end. What an incredible end to the milestone season 10 of the AFLW competition. The stars stood up when it mattered most, and Hatchard, in her milestone 100th AFLW game, the second pro to reach the milestone, the 8th player in the AFLW overall. She kicked a crucial goal, the only goal of the final quarter, to send her side once more into the final series. This is the final ladder, Charlotte Curtis. What an incredible final round we've seen here in round 12. And it's Adelaide, due to that percentage, they'll finish 6th, which means they will host a home final next week. What an end to the season.
It's been a great couple of weeks, Jess, as we've closed out the season, as you said, but so many teams in contention. I think we had 13 teams for 8 spots coming into last week, and the equation was still 11 coming into this round. So what a wonderful finish, and Adelaide Crows nabbing 6th spot after St Kilda lost today.
And after a roller coaster of emotions for the West Coast Eagles losing to Carlton on Friday night, but then seeing an upset win, Essendon beating Sydney, and Adelaide now winning today, it means the West Coast Eagles will play their maiden finals berth in the AFLW, led by Daisy Pearce. That is an incredible story, so congratulations to the West Coast Eagles as we soak up the atmosphere at ground level and head downstairs to Monique van der Hayden.
Thanks, Jess. I'm here with the woman of the moment, Hatchie. 100 games for you. You enter at a very elusive club today as well. You got a goal and then top it all off.
Yeah, it was super fun to get out there. I think it's been, super overwhelming week. The love and support that I've been getting has just been amazing. So it was, absolutely thrilled to get the win with the girls.
When you reflect back on what you've been able to achieve in these 100 games, do you have to pinch yourself a little bit?
Oh, for sure. Especially, you look back to those 3 premierships and, there's so many great times. But honestly, it's been a roller coaster and it's really built me to who I am today. So it's been, an amazing journey.
Talk us through that final quarter, because it looked pretty frantic out there. So Doc moving the magnets around quite furiously there at 3/4 time. How was it out there for you?
Yeah, it was good fun. I think we loved the pressure, and coming to that last game pretty tight. It was nice to just get out there and get it done. So thrilled.
And you win, so you get to play on. What do you get to achieve in this final series? What do you think?
Yeah, look, we could really push for finals. I guess we're kind of going in as a bit of an underdog, so I love that feeling, and keen to crack into some good games.
It's a position that you guys haven't been in very often, where you've had to fight for that final spot. How does that change your mentality heading into this final series? Is it the same as always, or do you have to rethink things?
Yeah, I guess it's a little bit different. I guess, we're going into this game having to win to make finals, and it pretty much felt like a finals game this week, so I guess that puts us in good stead, for the following weeks.
Good luck and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to Monique and Hatchie, and congratulations on 100 of the best and Hatchard as she rejoins her teammates on the wing. And we're going to get to sing the song first. I'll chair off Hatchie. I'm not sure what's going to come first. In fact, we are going to chair off Phil Seth, the 31-year-old who played her first game in 2019, game number 58 today. And now we chair off in at game number 100. 3-time premiership player, still at the peak of her powers, on the shoulders of the 2 Allen sisters. Sarah Allen was just absolutely terrific today for the Crows. 9 19 disposals she finished with. 4 tackles. These are wonderful scenes at Norwood Oval. Stevie Lee Thompson has also been there for a lot of the journey. So just how dangerous can the Crows be in the final, Shai?
Well, we saw today the experience rises when the moments are there, are able to withstand the pressure. Fremantle threw everything at them, but the Crows had the answers. We know Brisbane, Adelaide, North Melbourne, they've all been there. And the cream generally rises, Jess, and they know how to time their run perfectly, these teams.
So they'll host a home final next week, the Adelaide Crows. 12-point winners today, 4-5-29 to Fremantle, 2-5-17. A hard-fought victory right to the end.
And see what this win means too. The smiles, there's just jubilation and joy. The season goes on again. They get to go around with Doc Clark again next week.
So I think we're going to wait for the crowd today because I think they want to celebrate this moment with their fans as they make their way from the stand here at Norwood Oval.
All right, folks, there we go. Game, set, match. Adelaide Crows got up 4-5-29, defeating the Dockers 2-5-17. And tell you what, it was a cracking game. Both sides gave it the best shot. But unfortunately for the Dockers fans out there, that is season over. Season over for the Dockers. Adelaide Crows, they go on to play finals football next week. Just want to have a look and see if this ladder has updated for everyone, the live ladder. There is the final ladder of the 2025 home and away season AFLW action. Of course, the Kangaroos on top, minor premiers, played 12, won 12, didn't lose a game all year. Melbourne end up second, Brisbane third, Hawthorn fourth, Carlton fifth, Adelaide, St Kilda, West Coast Eagles had a little bit of a sweat on today, as I was saying. If Adelaide and Fremantle draw that game today, West Coast would have been out. And both of those two teams would have been in. But it should be fantastic. Look, it was a great game. First week of the finals. Next week, Kangaroos will play Hawthorn. I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be Hawthorn. Kangaroos are in fine form, Alf. Absolutely. Melbourne will play Brisbane. They got the double chance, the top four. Carlton will play West Coast Eagles. And it looks like Adelaide will have a home game against St Kilda. Tell you what, we've got some good games coming up next week, but that is the score. It was a 2-goal margin in the end. The lead did chop and change. Look, it was a game of defence today. Both teams' defence was absolutely brilliant for both teams. And that was a really good warm-up for Adelaide next week. And, of course, as we see, 6 play 7. So it should be Adelaide should be playing St Kilda. I'm 99.9%, that's how it goes. 5th play 8, 6th play 7, so it should be Adelaide St Kilda. So there we go. Just looking at the, just want to have a look at the result. Of course, St Kilda, we did see Western Bulldogs absolutely give St Kilda a shellacking in the last game, 72-27. So all smiles, I think, will be on Adelaide for next week. Commiserations to Fremantle Dockers. You got there, you got close. Just reiterating the goal scorers in today's game. Grace Kelly ended up with 2 goals for the Crows. Anne Hatchard, Caitlin Gould ended up with 1 apiece. Hayley Miller and Aisley McCarthy ended up with 1 goal apiece for the Dockers. Of course, Gabrielle Newton, 28, tops the table there for Freo. Fantastic game from her. Ebony Marinoff, 26 touches. Pretty good effort, 15 tackles, 2 clearances as well. For Adelaide, she was really good. And, of course, Aisley McCarthy, another great game. Mim Strom, she was instrumental today. She was fantastic, 23 touches, 5 tackles, 20 hitouts, and 6 clearances. She was really good in today's performance. Al's Adventure Vlogs, what's going on, Squire? There we go. That is the final game, folks, of the home and away season AFLW action for 2025. That is it. So next week, folks, I'll just have to wait for the fixtures to come out to find out the exact days that they're going to be playing, when, where, and what's going to be happening. We haven't got the fixture up just yet for the finals, which is going to be next week. But at least we know who's going to be playing who. Of course, 50% went for the Crows, 50% went for the Dockers in today's poll. So it was a little bit undecided. I tell you what, it was chop and change, wasn't it? But as you can see, like on the worm here, Adelaide sort of had the better of Freo most of the day. They just kept getting their nose back and then just outscored them in the last quarter. Of course, holding Freo scoreless in that third term, in that final term. That, and 1 goal, 1 to the Adelaide Crows. If you have a look at the scoreboard, folks, when Freo were kicking right of screen, they did not score. They did not score in the second quarter, and they didn't score in the final quarter. So their scores all come from left of screen for the Dockers, where the Adelaide Crows were good enough, strong enough to score both ways. All right, folks. Hey, thanks all for joining in on today's game. Of course, we had a couple of games there we watched, didn't we? We saw the Brisbane defeating Collingwood, and of course Adelaide getting up over Freo, albeit a low-scoring game in this game today. But it was a rip-roaring game. It was, as I said, it was a well-contested game. It was a game of defence today. It was a fantastic effort by both teams. Both defences held up really, really well. They should be pretty proud of the way their season went. And of course, Adelaide's season continues next week. It should be just another fantastic first round of finals football action for the AFLW. I'll be looking forward to it. All right, folks. Hey, thanks very much for coming on in, spending the time listening to the game today. We will be back next week to cover some of the finals, so make sure you stay tuned. Don't forget, make sure you hit the like, share, comment, subscribe. Put the bell on all so you know when the live comes up on again. It'll pop up for you. You'll be able to watch the finals. It'll be all fantastic. All right, folks. Hey, until next time, ciao for now. Thanks again. We'll see you at the next game.